Hi, my name is Catherine Gable. I am the founder of Thundering Paws Pet Adoption Center, and today we are going to talk about how to safely trap feral and homeless cats. We're also going to learn how to take care of them while they are in the trap, and then how to take care of them with aftercare following surgery from the vet. I work with 3 different sizes of traps, and I call this the phase 1 of trapping. So if you have a tiny baby, you would be using a trap like this. This is designed for kittens that are 4 weeks to about 12 weeks. The trigger plate inside of this trap is extremely sensitive, and only just a minute few ounces will make it snap shut. The trap is safe, and it is a humane trap. After the kitten is trapped in it, you would then cover it with a dark color towel. The next trap that I want to introduce you to is the medium-sized trap. Now, the medium-sized trap is designed for kittens 4 months, 16 weeks, and I've even captured 3-month-old kittens in here. This trigger plate is also extremely sensitive. This works very well for the mid-range kittens. It is designed a little bit differently. There is a catch door that you can lift up and do your work, whereas these other traps are front loaders only. Of course, when the kitten goes inside of this and you're ready to move the kitten, there again, you want a larger towel, but it needs to be dark. This one happens to be a dark gray blue towel, and you would just cover it and carry it to its safe zone. Today, we are going to be demonstrating how to use the adult trap. Mostly kittens are not trapped. Mostly it's adults that we work with. So this is a wonderful cage. It is all metal, but this one requires a cat to weigh at least 4 pounds to be able to trip the plate. It is a front loader, and I'll be showing and demonstrating actually how to set this trap. Because this trap is so big, we don't use towels for the large trap. You would need a dark colored sheet, and it would cover it so that you can move it with the handle. I want to show you what is involved in baiting the traps. Baiting the traps will make a huge difference on whether you actually trap or not. So we're going to talk about what you will use to bait the traps, especially for your adults. Those that have been homeless, have not had any opportunity to eat anything, I highly suggest buying sardines in oil and putting it in your trap. The next that you can use would be tuna in water. You don't want sardines in flavors like garlic. You don't want the tuna in a lot of heavy sauce. The oil is much easier to deal with in the little dishes in the trap. Some cats, believe it or not, are not food driven. You could take a dish and pour catnip in it and put the catnip behind the trigger plate. Another thing that you can do, this is called silver vine. Silver vine is a bush. It is almost a tree. It grows that tall. The actual bark is what cats are attracted to. So this is a silver vine stick. You take a knife and you peel the brown bark off, and once you expose the silver part of this bark, you put it in the dish, and they're attracted to that. This is a silver vine mouse. If you put the mouse in the dish, they might run in for that, believe it or not. You can try regular cat food, but normally you have to go to something a little stronger like the tuna or the sardines. Some cats are driven by motion and light. This is a laser mouse, and you would take and put the dish in the trap, and the trap would be set, and you would be behind a bush, and you would literally take and press the button, and the little red dot would go all in the trap, and the cat would be so fascinated to catch the red dot that it wouldn't even realize that the door had slammed shut on it. So these are other things other than food that I have found that does work with some cats. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the sardines, 2 little food dishes, along with the trap and the burgundy sheet, and we're going to go out to a bushy area as if you were really trapping in a wooded bushy area. So I'll see you out there. Hi, we're back again, and this time we're out in a bushy area. This is to sort of simulate the environment that you would be setting a trap in to trap the feral cats. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to prepare the trap to actually set it, bait it. So I have the sardines here with me, and we're just going to pop them open, and we're going to put at least 1 sardine in each of these little food dishes. Now the reason you want 2 food dishes and 2 sardines in there is because after you trap and you take the trap back to your sheltered area where it will remain safe until you can get it to the vet, you're going to need a water dish and you're going to need a food dish inside the trap. That's why you must put 2 food dishes in your trap. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pick up one of these lovely, lovely sardines, and we're going to just stick it in there. Then we're going to take another sardine, we're going to pick it up, and we're just going to put it right in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to set the trap. This trap is a front loader. You lift the rings. They're very popular. You can find them at all different farm stores. I've lifted the door. Now I'm going to put the sardines inside. There you go. Now notice that the sardines are not touching the trigger plate. You want the little food dishes behind the trigger plate. If you put it up against the trigger plate, it will hinder getting the cat. If you put it too far back, the cat will be smart enough to keep its paws back, all 4 paws back, and never hit the plate. You want the front paws to hit this plate and swing it shut. Now we're going to set it to trip. So what you do, the door is open and you pull this up, and if you notice, the trigger plate is very high up. So as soon as the cat runs in, it's going to make it go straight down. Now at this point, what I want you also to know, let's say you have a wild cat out there, but that you've been feeding. This is how you do it if you've not been feeding and you just come upon a very hungry wild cat. But if you've been feeding a cat that you now wish to trap, you're going to have to train the cat to eat in the trap. So the first 3 days, you do not set the trigger plate to trigger. You want to set this up to become the feeding zone. So you're going to take a piece of wood and you're going to leave this door open. Do not feed the cat anywhere but inside the trap. After you feed about 3 days, because the cat's going to be used to you feeding outside, it's got to get used to you feeding it inside. It takes 3 days for a cat to learn a new ritual behavior. After the 3rd day, on the 4th day that you feed, set it to trip, move your block, and then that day, when the cat thinks it's just going to go in to eat, it will actually get trapped. But for right now, we're going to proceed as if you don't know this cat and you've never been feeding this cat, but you want to help it. So you're ready to trap. Now we are going to move the trap into the bush. And what you want to do is you want to clear the area around the trap. And once you've cleared the area, you are going to lift the door, reset it in the cocked position. You're going to take your bungee cords, and you need 4. This is so that while you're not with the trap, If the cat goes in and you're not there and it begins to rocket, and it will rocket because it's scared and it wants out. To avoid a cat from escaping the trap, we hook into the bush and the trap. So we're going to make an X. So we hook onto a branch and make sure it's pretty taut. Then we're going to take another bungee cord and we're making an X. And we're going to put it over here and the other part of the bungee cord up here. So you've made an X. Now what you're going to do at the back end is the same thing. You're going to hook into the next bush and the trap. Okay. It needs to be further over. There we go. There we go. That's nice and taut. And if any little branches come down, just remove them. So then we go over here to this side of the trap, make our X, and hook in up here. This is going to prevent the cat from being able to knock it either way. Now, so that the cat will not be scared, we take our dark colored sheet, because this is the adult trap, and we're going to put it like this, right over it. Do not impede up against where you have put the door and the caulking mechanism. So this will just help the cat. You can leave some of it open at the end so that they can smell it and know, hey, there's a food source in here. But this gives the cat some extra protection until you come back. Never leave a trap longer than 6 to 8 hours unattended. At this point, this is the final part of setting the trap. You're just going to put a piece of wood, a brick, whatever you've got, on it. Happy hunting. We're going to pretend that you truly did capture a cat. I'll see you on the inside of the building. Thanks. So what I'm going to do now is teach you how to feed, water, clean, pee, and poop out of a trap. Scoop the food and put it in. These are your guarantee that you are not going to get scratched or bit, because you do not want your fingers anywhere near the trap.